Hello, fellow American small business owners. So today, super simple. I'm going to do a quick video walkthrough of how you apply for the disaster loan assistance through SBA.gov. But before I do that, I just want to share one thing. Obviously everybody's affected by this. It's an unprecedented time in our history, in business, in everything. And so, families, everything, all this is affected. But what I want to say about that is this: when this is all over with, in whatever time frame it's all over with, life and business will definitely go on. And so, it's very difficult right now because we're very much thinking about the short term. And the short term is scary, right? We've had to close doors. We have to do a lot of different things that we never thought we'd have to do. So we find ourselves here. So what I want to say about that is that life and business will go on at some point in time. And how we look at things now and how we prepare for when this is over will dictate whether we can pick up and grow or whether we just die and it goes away and we have no business left. And so now I encourage you to understand and take this time to work on your business and prepare for the success that's ahead. It is a fearful time, it's a difficult time, but I encourage you to look at things that way and understand that in a very short amount of time, this part will be beyond us. Life will be a little different, business will be a little bit different, but it'll definitely go on. And what we do now is going to prepare us for the success ahead. And how well we focus on that now will determine how fast we can get back up, dust ourselves off, and succeed, grow, and prosper again. So I just wanted to share that quick message with you. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show you over here on my screen how to do this. So if you go in, and if you go to the SBA.gov, very easy. You go here, you just click right here. It's the very first thing you see. You click here I'm not going to click on this now, but the eligible disaster areas, typically in any kind of disaster, you would go in there and click if it was isolated to a certain area, and you would find your city or county listed in your state. In this instance, all 50 states, all U.S. territories, provinces are currently listed on here. So you don't need to check your eligibility status. Almost every single one of them are now online. I believe that all 50 states and counties within have been activated. So all you need to do is click apply online. Now I've already set up a profile. You want to go here and register. So I'm going to walk through and I'm just going to test one. So you just go in here and fill out the information. Super easy, right? So you go in here, fill it out, put in your information. I'm just going to fill in some filler information here. Address, 127 Main Street. Okay. So you fill out the information. Okay. You want to use a good email address. If for some reason you're going to be, you think servers or your website might be down for some reason, if you have one, just use a good default email address that you have that's easy to access. You won't have any problems accessing. So let's fill this out real quick. Okay. You'll get your status updates on your loans there. Put in a good number. Okay. You just acknowledge that everything that they're going to do here, provide third-party information, and then you hit next. Now, what's going to happen? Oh, excuse me. All right, I'll just blur this out later. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so next thing you'll do is pick username and password. I've already got one in here, so I'm just going to change it to test account 1. Okay, you're going to reconfirm password. Okay, you're going to set security questions. So whatever it is that you're putting in, just set 3 security questions. I'm just filling in just miscellaneous stuff because I'm not going to use this profile. I just want to show you some basic information here, how to do it. So you fill out this, enter the CAPTCHA code. A little tip too, they're having some issues with the browsers. I'm using Firefox right now. It appears that part of the issue that you have right now, let's see, oh, it's already taken. So because I got it. You got to fill this out all over again. So keep in mind that you want to use probably Mozilla is what I'd recommend. There's some issues with using Chrome and a few others. Oh, geez. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's try this again. See if I can get the capture right this time. W4R. Okay. That should do it. So yeah, keep in mind that they recommend Internet Explorer or another browser. I don't recommend Internet Explorer or anything like that. I prefer, of course, using Mozilla. All right, so identify, verification, retry. Okay. Retry. I think it doesn't like that I'm doing it this way. All right, so that was unsuccessful because I was using some filler data that wasn't correct. It's just to show you what to do. But once you do that, it's going to confirm. I did not receive, and I haven't heard anybody receiving any verification emails as of yet once you set it up. But once you set it up, your registration, it will take you to this login page. I'm going to go ahead and log in just to show you. You'll enter in your name and information. Now, here, of course, again, you don't have to check for eligibility. I've already started a test application so you can see it. You don't have to check eligibility. All states are currently eligible. Click apply online. It will take you to the steps. Now, the very first steps in the process, you go in here. And keep in mind, it's going to be slow based on how it's happening. All right. So this is the core of the application. It's very simple to go through. I've already done several and done a couple with a couple different businesses. This I just set up so you could see it. So when you look here, these are the steps in the process. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your tax returns for your business and information. You're going to need all your asset information. So because they're going to ask you to do a personal financial statement. So you'll need those, your business tax returns, and I'll go through each one of these here one at a time. But just real quick, I'll click through here so you can see the actual application itself. Here you don't have to click anything. It already notified in the process that you're applying for economic injury or EIDL. Just understand that there's different SBA loan types, and when you're applying for this type of loan, you can't qualify for both a standard SBA loan and an economic injury disaster loan. You can't do both. It's either one or the other. And a couple stats that were shared on that, so I can give you a quick recap on that. If you look at the disaster loans, sorry, there's another update coming in. Okay, so the proposed stimulus package that they had through was over $300 billion in SBA 7A loans, which we can cover later in a different video. They're 100% government guaranteed through the end of this year, 12/23/20, and then it reverts back to normal status if you apply after that. You can do up to a $10 million size, up to $1 million in a express loan size, and then current eligible SBA borrowers and not-for-profits. The interest rates, I think last time I looked, don't quote me on this because I'm looking at it right now, I think it's 2.75% interest rate for nonprofits and like 3.2 or 3.75 for profit. Just want to double check that. And then they are allowing for long term. So, you can go 10, 15, 30 years, depending on the loan you choose. The delegated underwriting authority means there's expedited processing. Also goes faster, which again, keep in mind, it is a government loan, so it's going to take longer than the standard loan. Don't expect them to move as fast as, say, a bank or private money. So again, the last key point, borrowers can actually get this loan or an EIDL, a disaster loan, not both. And keep this in mind too, it does waive the borrower and lender guarantee fee. So that's just a little recap. So as you go through this part here, when you go in, this will be already selected as the economic injury. If you've had actual damage, let's say, and I haven't heard of any of this yet, but let's say that somebody causes damage to your property or whatever as a result of this. There are certain other steps you would take through the loan process. You'll identify the real estate, all that stuff, and what the damage was. If you're a military reservist and you're applying for this loan as well, the only difference here is you'll click this and you'll go through that information. You pick your organization type. This is the core, again, the core application. You need your tax ID, business phone number, of course, the physical mailing address, the property, whether you own or lease it. Keep in mind this application is typically designed for physical damage, due to natural disasters. So some of this won't apply. And the ones that are not marked with a red asterisk, you do not have to provide that unless they specifically ask you for it. So in this instance, insurance is not necessary here to provide that information. If you had physical property damage, you would need that. So the individual contacts, typically this will be the principal of the business, the owner. I'm going to put your information in here and they hit next. So super easy application process. They show you the progress bar up here. You go through each step. It does not take long as you have your EIN number, your tax ID number, all the officer information. And again, you want to have your tax returns on hand for both the business and your personal, and any assets that that you have, like bank accounts, things like that, retirement accounts, real estate holdings, those type of things that they would normally want anyways to understand what your ability to repay is. So you go through this process. That's the core application. Once you go there, you will land at the very next step. And this is running a little bit slow. So you see each of the steps through here. So the next is the personal financial statement. You'll enter in all the assets that you personally have or own that you can list here. So you want that list of those things before you fill that out. Schedule of liabilities is exactly what you would think it is. It's, what do you have that you have to pay out, all your commitments regarding your business. Now, this transcript for tax returns, this is the 4506T is a form that you fill out granting them permission, even though they're the government. You sign these sometimes for banks to verify tax returns so they can validate that what you provided in the information in the application is actually correct. The federal tax return, again, you'll provide this, but if for some reason you don't have it, because obviously we're early on in the year, and some people haven't filed 2019 personal taxes or even business taxes. So, some may wait till, third quarter or, later in the year to file. Just be prepared to provide a statement as to why you haven't done that. Now, currently at this moment, from sales tax to different tax filings, they've extended grace periods now. I can't remember if it's 60 days or longer. So, if you're writing an explanation, make sure you include that verbiage to say, I'm taking advantage of the fact that, that there's a 60-day window. We have yet to normally file it during this time of year. And, given the current circumstances, we will file when the time is appropriate. That's it. It doesn't have to be a long explanation, just something simple. Truthful information certification, that's basically an affidavit that, you're declaring that everything you've provided is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge, and you sign that and you're personally presenting it as true. You submit that. Now, once you've submitted the application, you can actually go back in when you log in. And if you go here, I believe this is the right link. Where's it at? Okay, let me back up. Okay, so when you go back to this page and to get here, just so you know, and you'll be able to log in anytime after you've applied. And once you log in as a user, you'll be able to see this. But your application status, when you click that, it asks you to log in and it'll take you back where you left off. So if you have already applied, it will take you to that page where you can check the status. Now, this one particular that I'm using to show you now is incomplete, but here you'll see the application and what the current status is. In addition to that, they will assign an agent to your application, and you can also call in and ask questions, but give them some time to get to the application. You may even call the number to find out, where they are in the queue. They won't be able to give you an exact answer, but they'll be able to tell you roughly what the processing times are and what you can expect when someone will be able to communicate with you about your application or to have additional questions. The last thing that I would say is this. If there's any additional information that they want, okay, keep an eye out on your email and, make sure that you're prepared to provide that additional information, because this process normally could take between 30 and 90 days. This is not normal circumstances, so be prepared for it to take longer. Now, all that being said, you can also find short-term capital out there right now and get funding within 24 to 48 hours. There's different resources out there. If you have any questions about that, or you have any questions about filling out this application, or you need help with it, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can go to our website for updated news and information. We currently, so this is our website, disasterloan.sba.gov. We will have updated information, but on here you can get short-term capital. We can fund within 24 to 48 hours. We're going to do our best to help as many people as we can with this process. So we'll have our chat feature up here shortly where you can talk after hours and during business hours with our specialists to help you through applying to the SBA.gov. We don't get anything for doing that. We're just trying to help people through the process because you got enough on your plate now, and it's certainly frustrating. So now is definitely the time for us to pull together and help one another. Listen, you guys stay safe. I know this is trying times, and it can be challenging with both business and family. So just remember what's important, and remember that the dust will settle. We will move on, and that this is a perfect time to work on your business and really strategize to understand where you're going to be in positioning when everything clears. And the folks that take advantage of doing that now and focus on the success that lies in the rubble that we're in front of, just remember those people will take the market share, and they will be the ones that are able to pick up and become the leaders. And so there's going to be a lot of changes because of that. So prepare, get ready, and if you need any help, please reach out to us. Stay safe and be well.